Welcome to the LOUXNYX Oily Skin Facial Blueprint. We've made it through our first videos where we talked about what oily skin is, one quick win, 3 mistakes that people with oily skin often make, and now we have come to the most fun part. If you've been following this series, you now know why your oily skin isn't getting better, what mistakes to avoid, and how to fix it, right? But what if you want to take it a step further and actually take care of your skin like a professional esthetician would at home? That's what we're going to go through today. So I'm going to show you step by step how to do a facial. We'll talk about the products that we recommend in our spa to our clients to take care of things at home. It's about 40 minutes, so it's a little bit longer than the other videos, but you can follow along step by step anytime that you want to do your facial at home. So first thing, we're going to talk about setup. You're going to want to have either a sink handy, of course, or I have 2 bowls of water for filming purposes, a couple of sponges, which come in our kit, a mask brush that comes in our kit. Also comes with a headband. I'm not wearing it because my hair is long enough to pull back, but if you have shorter hair, it comes in the kit as well. Couple little bonus ideas. You could dim your lights. Maybe if you can't dim your lights, you could put like a scarf or something over your light. You can do a little aromatherapy session, something like that. I'm also going to recommend if you're wearing rings that are sharp or have like a deeper crown setting, that you take those off. Take your watch off. Any jewelry that might get caught. Earrings like this are fine, but if you have longer ones, you might want to take those off. And then also a note, if you have longer fingernails, you may need to adjust some of the movements, where if we're doing something like this or like around the eyes, you might end up using your knuckles instead. Last reminder, and this one's probably the most important. If you have recently had any sort of injectables like filler or neurotoxin, please don't push or massage in those areas for those first 2 weeks. You can gently glide. I mean, I'm talking no pressure at all, but really at that point, you may just skip the massage portion for those first 2 weeks and come back to it after everything has settled in the way that your injector would like, okay? So let's start with our warm-up. We're going to start by rolling our neck, and this will start to loosen things around the neck and the lower part of our skull, all right? So we're gonna start by dropping our chin down to our chest and roll our ear to the side, roll all the way back to the other side, and then down back to the center. Go 3 times in this direction, and then stop in the middle and reverse it back the other way. And if you feel it or hear like little crackly, like snap, crackle, pop in your neck, that's okay. That's good. We're stretching it out. Next, we're going to clear our lymph. Why this is important is it starts to move toxins out and move fluid around, reduces puffiness. It's great in the morning if you have time to do a few of these moves to get things moving and reduce puffiness. So I'm going to take and my fingers, kind of these 3 fingers here, right in front of the V of my underarm, okay? So you're gonna take right here and do 3 kind of pumping circles in one direction, 3 pumping circles in the other direction. Then you're gonna take your other hand, go across, same thing, 3 pumping circles in one direction, 3 pumping circles in the other direction. Then you can take a couple different ways you can do this. You can pull this way. That feels kind of like tight on my wrists. So I sometimes will make a fist here and just pull gently across. So you'll start in the middle. There's no pressure here. I'm just gliding across. Then you're going to take your fingertips right below your collarbone and gently like pushing circles again, okay? So like pumping circles, we're gonna go 3 or 4 in the one direction and then 3 or 4 in the other direction. Then you're gonna go above your collarbone here, same thing, 3 or 4 in one direction and then reverse it, 3 or 4 in the other direction, right in that divot there. Now in this little, almost like circular notch here, you're going to take 2 or 3 fingers and just gently circle, not a lot of pressure. There is a little bit, but not a lot. And then circle the other direction. Next, we're going to take and go down the sides of the neck. So you're going to go back here, right here, and you're going to work your way forward, okay? So you're going to take like you're twisting a knob with these 2 fingers. Twist, 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 all the way down, okay? So twist, 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 and then move forward a little bit. Twist, twist, twist. Move forward a little bit. Twist, twist, twist. This is where you might need to use your knuckles if you have nails. Also note, please don't go over this center column of the neck. You're going to stop before you reach there. Now we're going to make some V's with our fingers and go on either side of the ear and just like this, up and down. This is my favorite one to do in the morning because it's really effective, but doesn't take a lot of time. And you're just going to pull down the neck. Down. And down. All right, getting to our cleanse. Our first cleanse is going to be our oil step. So we're going to add a few drops of our cleansing oil, and remember we do that on dry skin. So I am just going to start massaging this in, and you are genuinely going to see it break up my makeup and everything that is on my face right now. And I used just a few drops. This is not a lot. Just massaging it in, making sure that I'm hitting every area on my face. Next up, we're going to use our low foaming gel cleanser. It's anti-inflammatory, has vitamin C, polyphenols, reduces redness and swelling, is soothing, helps with skin healing, and balances that oil production. It has arnica in it, aloe, cranberry, and blueberry. All right, I think we've hit about 60 seconds here. So this is our gel cleanser, and I'm going to add just a little bit, about a dime size, but it's kind of dripping already, onto my hand. Add a little water, and you're going to see this is not going to foam up, especially because I had that oil. And I'm going to start my timer for 90 seconds. So our oil cleanse is the 60-second step, and our gel cleanser is 90 seconds. I know that feels like a lot, but I promise you this is like the magic step for oily skin. We're just going to keep massaging it in gently, making sure we hit every area again. Go over a couple times if you feel like you maybe didn't break it up enough. If it starts to feel like anything is tugging, like it's getting a little bit sticky, so your skin or your fingers aren't gliding, add a little more water. That's totally fine once you've got that extra cleanser on there. You don't want to do it in your oil step, but in your cleanser step, it's great. Add that in, let it break everything up, and then just keep massaging. And I can actually feel the change in the oil on my skin. So for me, particularly right around my nose is really oily, and I can feel it broken up now than like way more than I could before we started this. You should be able to also as you get used to that process. All right, so our 1.5 minutes is done there. Just rinse off my fingers, grab my sponges here, and rinse off my face. All right, how's everyone doing? Do you have any questions? If you do, go ahead and pop them in the comments below. We'll definitely get to those for you. And then I'm just gonna let those sponges hang out in that water. There's not enough, like, I don't feel like I really need to pat my skin dry. If I was using a sink, I would definitely be patting my skin dry, but in this particular step, it just feels like I got rid of all that stuff that was on my face. All right, so next up, we are going to activate our parasympathetic nervous system. So we're going to get into that rest stage in our body and use our exfoliant. So this exfoliant is our Exfo 1 mask, and it has blueberry, cranberry, lactic acid, hibiscus. It helps bring blood to the surface, which brings nutrients to the surface, oxygen to the surface, which is really important for our skin because while it is our largest organ, it's the last to get the nutrients that it needs. Our body's always going to prioritize our internal organs. So forcing a blood flow to the area temporarily is really nice to help our body start to re-regulate that oil production. This is kind of using the back of my my mask brush here. I just grabbed a nice dollop of it from my jar, and I am going to use my little mirror here to be able to see where I'm putting it using a dampened mask brush. I'm just going to apply that on in a nice even layer. And this one has, like I said, kind of that cranberry blueberry profile. It removes dead skin cells by dissolving them off rather than scrubbing them. It smooths the texture of your skin and protects your skin barrier while it's doing so. Balances oil production, and that olive squalane that's in there is what we call a biomimetic moisturizer. So it means we're biocompatible. Your skin recognizes it because it's very similar to our natural oils, so it won't over exfoliate the skin. So I have a little bit left here. I'll rinse off my mask brush and set it aside. A little bit left. I'm just going to massage that in so that I don't waste any of it. And then rinse off my fingertips. And then we'll get into our parasympathetic nervous system. So remember I said we're going to talk about doing this as I would with my clients. So we do different things to help people relax when they're in for their facials. And obviously I can't do those things to you on YouTube. So what I'm going to do instead is teach you how to regulate yourself. So the first one is called the 4-7-8 breath. This is my favorite. I have used this for many years when I feel like I'm just getting a little worked up or like I need to just like recenter myself. So what it is you're going to take 4 counts in through your nose, hold for 7, and then release 8 counts out through your mouth. Okay, I'm going to do it with you. So I'm going to use my fingers to count what we're doing. Okay, so we're going to go in for 4, hold for 7, out for 8. We're going to do it again. It gets better every time. All right, so we'll go in for 4, hold for 7, out for 8. One more time. In for 4, hold for 7, out for 8. tapping exercise. So we're gonna do 3 sets of 6 and basically kind of bouncing our fingertips 6 times down the sides, and we'll do it 3 times, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we're gonna go across the forehead, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then underneath our eyes, right on top of our cheekbones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then right underneath our lip at our chin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And right above our lip. All right, so this mask can be left on anywhere from a couple minutes up to about 20. In this case, we're gonna leave it on just this amount of time. If you wanna pause and leave it on a little longer, you absolutely can. But this is enough to get a good kind of weekly exfoliation. If you're only doing this every month, you would maybe wanna leave it on a little longer. But if you're doing it weekly, that's the perfect amount of time right there. So I'm gonna use my dampened sponges again and just wipe off my mask. And these sponges in particular, I absolutely love because they have just a little bit of a texture to them. And these grooves grab the product and like hold it in. Obviously that's the point of a sponge, but these having a little bit deeper grooves absolutely help to grab the product for you, which is really nice. So there's no pulling or scrubbing the skin, it just sort of grabs. I'm gonna use my mirror here so that I can get all of it off. Sorry for the weird camera angle. All right. So, as I'm sure you are seeing, my skin has a little bit of pinkness. And if you're following along at home with our products, you will notice your skin is a little pink too. Remember that blood flow we talked about? That's a good thing. This is showing actively that we have increased blood flow to that area of the face, which is great. As you start massaging your face or get up and move around, it will go away. It will go back to normal really quickly. All right, so next, the fun part. We get to get into the massage, a true face massage, and our hydrating mask. So this one has gotu kola, oatseed, senna polysaccharides. Those are powerful antioxidants. It strengthens your skin barrier, balances and hydrates the skin, and provides immediate soothing and smoothing. 2 S's, smoothing and soothing. So again, I'm gonna take a nice dollop of this, probably about, I don't know, quarter to a $half size amount there. And I am not going to use my mask brush for this one. Just want to smooth it all over the face. You can use your mask brush if you like, but because I'm not at a sink, I don't want to put my exfoliant back on my face. So get a nice thick layer of this on there. It smells so good. And this mask is really cool because if it starts to dry out at all, you can add water to it and it will suck the water in and continue hydrating your skin as you go. So you'll see me dip my fingers in, and I'll make a point of that and tell you when we're going through it as well. So just a friendly reminder, do not push or massage areas that you have just had injections in. At least 2 weeks, whatever your injectionist recommends, all right? So we're gonna start with a good stretch. I'm gonna take my left hand over the right side of my head and just pull my ear over to my shoulder as much as I can. And with my right hand, I'm gonna counterbalance and pull this shoulder down. Deepen the stretch if you can. And then tip your chin up to the ceiling. And just hold there for a couple of breaths. And now to the center. Take the right hand over the side, pull it over to your shoulder, and then counterbalance with your hand on your shoulder here, and then tip your chin up and hold there for a few breaths. All right, now to center. Now we're gonna take and just look to the side, but lead with your chin. So you're gonna move your chin over as far as you can to the side, come back to center, and then back over the other way. So we're gonna go over to the left, back to center, over to the right, back to center. Do it again. Left, center, right, center. One last time. Left, center, and right, center. Now we're gonna take our chin, tip it up to the ceiling, and then swing it side to side like a rainbow or like a ticking clock, right? So tip your chin up, swing it over, back to center, swing it back the other way. And we'll do this a couple of times. All right, one last. Great, back to center. All right, so next we're gonna I call it waterfall down the neck. So remember that twisting motion that we did when we were doing our lymph drainage. You're gonna kind of do the same thing, but like less of a twist and more like just rolling your fingers down, all right? So we're just gonna roll down the sides and remember not to go in the front. Start back again. We'll do this process like 3 times, almost like just tapping. And now we're gonna do those ear scissors again, okay? But this time when we get our down the neck, we're gonna go to the back and then pull forward, okay? So we're gonna go like this and then pull back to the back side of our neck and then come around to the front. And I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see that. So on there, around the ears, pull down the back and then pull forward. One more time. The back and then pull forward. Now we're going to do some lip stretches. So I'm going to anchor with one finger here, and then I'm going to pull across, but my lips are going to be pulled in like this. So I can't talk while I'm doing it. So I want to show you real quick. Pull your lips in, anchor. We're going to do that 3 times on any side, okay? So now I'll anchor with this side. Go above the lip. And then the same. Now I'm going to take and put my thumb under my jaw, and you can use as many fingers as feels comfortable on your face. Just slide out. And the more pressure I'm using is on the fingertips, not underneath. This is more like an anchor. So sliding out. And if you feel any sort of pressure back here, you can give it a little wiggle, kind of move it down. Slide out, wiggle, down. I'm gonna add a little water. This next move is one that requires a lot of slip. So I'm going to anchor right here on this marionette line, okay? So I'm gonna anchor here from my left hand over on my right side. Then I'm gonna take this palm part of my right side, line it up to these fingers, and slide back with a lot of pressure. And I'm right here on the lower part of my face, all the way back until I get on that masseter muscle, and then I'm gonna give it a good wiggle. All right, so anchor, right up to it, and then slide back and give it a good wiggle. All right, and then one last time. Anchor, slide, and wiggle. Flip to the other side, so your right hand is your anchor, your left side heel palm, anchor, slide, and wiggle. Anchor, slide, and wiggle. And then lastly, anchor, slide, and wiggle. All right. Now I'm gonna take and make two kind of hooks here with my first finger knuckle and go right next to my nostrils and scoop under my cheekbone. And go all the way out. You can do whatever kind of pressure feels comfortable here. So just scoop out under my cheekbone. And one last time, scoop out under my cheekbone. All right, now we're gonna hit a couple pressure points. So we're gonna take our middle fingers and about a finger width away from our nostril, you're gonna feel around a little bit and you'll find a spot that either feels kind of tender or like there's a little divot in the bone structure. That's what you're looking for. So when you find that, you're just gonna gently press on that. We're gonna do that 6 times. Now you're gonna make little circles. So you're gonna go 3 in one direction, 3 in the other. Now we're gonna move up. It's almost directly up from that point on most people. So then you'll feel around a little bit and it's still on the bone. This is your orbital bone. So you're gonna feel around until you find those divots and then you're gonna pump 6 times. And then you're gonna do a couple of little circles one direction and then a couple more the other direction. And you're gonna take and glide those fingers up your nose, like ridge here, until you get underneath your brow. So this front end of the brow. And you're gonna feel around until you find the same thing, like kind of that tender point or like a little divot in the bone. And you're gonna pump 6 times. And then circles, 3 one direction, 3 the other direction. And then I'm gonna move into some work around my eyes. So I wanna make sure that I have enough slip on the skin. The skin around the eyes is the most delicate on the body. It's the thinnest. So you wanna make sure that there's no tugging in this area, okay? So I've got nice and wet and I'm just gonna put the rest on here so it's not dripping. All right, so I'm gonna take call these the esthetician fingers, your ring finger and your middle finger, the least pressure. And you're gonna start here on that lower divot, right? And go in and just make some big circles around that bone. So, around. There's not a lot of pressure here, but just enough that it feels kind of nice. I'm just gonna swipe back and forth like windshield wipers here a few times, and then go back to those circles. All right, now this one, it feels really great. We're gonna go here in the center of our brow a couple times, and then I'm gonna have you take your little lobster fingers, the front and thumb, and you're going to literally pinch your brow. So grab from underneath and above your brow and pinch. And we're gonna start at the front again, do it 3 times all the way across. This feels so good. All right, now I'm going to lift this muscle here, and this can help with smoothing the lines out on the forehead as well, done consistently. So what I'm gonna do is, again, I'm gonna cross the body. So I'm gonna take my left hand onto my right brow, and I'm gonna hold directly on top of that brow. Now I'm gonna take that palm again, and I'm going to just go up the forehead. Now I'm doing it with my palm here, but I'll show you an alternate version on the other side. So I did 3 there, okay? Flipping it, right side holding. If it's easier, you can use your fingertips. You're just gonna use firm pressure like you would if you were using your palm, and go from here all the way up. Truth be told, I think I like the way this one feels a little bit better on me, but if your fingers don't feel like they can give enough firm pressure, you might wanna use your palm, okay? All right, lastly, we are going to slide across the forehead. So you're just interlacing your fingertips and glide, glide, glide. Go to the mid face, glide, 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 and the lower. Glide, glide, going to take and make those kind of knob turning motions from the top here and go all the way around the side, the perimeter of the face. So I'm going right along the edge of my hairline. I'm still on the face, but right along the edge of my hairline, and then stopping when I get to my jaw. And we'll do this 3 times. And then we're going to reverse our lymph drainage. So we're going to start with our ear scissors on either side, pull down, do that again. Again. And then we're going to do the tapping, the waterfalls. So go down the sides. And then down the sides again, remembering to move inward towards the center. One more time. And we're going to do this center notch of the collarbone. Few circles pumping in one direction and circles pumping in the other direction. And our fingertips like pumping circles above the collarbone. Go the other direction. Underneath the collarbone, one direction, and then the other. Then we're going to take our kind of our fists flat here, or your fingertips, whatever's most comfortable. Remember, this is not a lot of pressure. This is just a glide across the upper chest. And then I'm going to take my left hand over to my right in front of the V of my underarm, and do 3 pumping circles one direction, 3 pumping circles the other direction, and then across left to right, 3 pumping circles one direction, 3 pumping circles the other direction. And now we're ready to remove our mask. So a couple extra kind of bonus tips. This mask, if you want to, you can leave it on. You could sleep in this, it would be totally fine. It's also great if you're traveling. I have worn this on an airplane, put a little like powder over it so it isn't shiny and glossy looking, and just wear it on an airplane so that your skin stays hydrated while you're in the air, which is really hard to do. This is a great mask for that. I am going to use my fingertips in this case and just re-wet it. And then grab my sponges and remove any residual mask. All right, next up is our toner. Well, a lot of people skip toner. Toner is not to be confused with astringents. Astringents are more like when I was growing up, they were ones that had like a really pungent smell, a smell that doesn't leave you kind of thing. I know that's not for all of them, but that's the one I always think of. And we don't want to use something that's going to be harsh and stripping. Remember, that's the point. We're trying to keep our skin in balance. So we are going to use our Tone Refine, which is a gentle exfoliating toner. So it has a tiny bit of lactic acid in it, which helps to keep exfoliation happening at a slow rate regularly, but it also balances the pH of the skin, prevents clogged pores because it's exfoliating off that dead skin, has a ton of antioxidants in it, and has an ingredient in it that helps support cellular membranes, which is really important for general skin health. Then we're going to do our eye gel. If you are not already using an eye gel or an eye cream, this is something that I recommend no matter what age. You know, as you get to your teens and adulthood, eye cream is always a good choice. The skin around our eyes, like we talked about, is the thinnest, so it is the first to show signs of aging typically. So this gel can be used all the way around the orbital bone. So I'm just gonna pat it around this upper part of my eye and around the lower, and then just kind of slide it in to massage it in place. This one has 3 different tripeptides and an ingredient called horsetail extract. Horsetail is a plant. These things work together to stimulate collagen and elastin, helps with firmness, fine lines, wrinkles. It is a microcirculation increase, so it will help reduce puffiness, like unreal, better than anything else I have ever tried. Has silica, which is great for helping the synthesis of collagen creation in your skin. All right, so lastly, we are going to add our vitamin C and then some sunscreen. Vitamin C, because it's daytime, I want to use vitamin C to protect my skin cells going out in the sun. And this one also has some peptides in it. It has a couple different oligopeptides and a mushroom type in it. So these are really stable forms of vitamin C that help with diminishing overproduction of pigmentation in the skin. So when you're out in the sun and you start to get the pigment spots, like age spots, this helps to prevent those. It is also imperative for collagen production. If you do not have enough vitamin C in the skin layers, it will not produce. The oligopeptides help with smoothing and soothing the skin, and this is a brightening. One of the peptides is a brightening peptide as well. I am going to add a little sunscreen because it is daytime here, but our kits come with a oily skin friendly moisturizer that feels so light on the skin that you will barely notice that there's anything there. If you notice it at all, it will just feel like your skin is so balanced and so hydrated without any heaviness. All right, so we've completed our facial. How's everyone feeling? I hope that your skin is feeling so good now. And I want to know, after you've tried this a couple times, what differences you're noticing. Are your products working better? Is your makeup laying nicer if you wear makeup? Is your skin looking brighter? I would love to know that. If you want to drop a comment later, drop a comment now if you have any questions or any comments, but come back to us and let us know how it's working for you, okay? We have 2 different kits available. There will be a link in the comments or a link in our section below. 2 different kits. One of them is going to be the full sizes. Those are the size bottles that I'm using today. There's also a trial kit. The trial kit has about 2 facials worth of product. The full size one is somewhere between 6 and 8. I would say most people can probably get about 8 in there. And these cost less than one typical facial at any sort of spa or salon, anything like that. So you can work through the protocol at home, follow along, do your facial with me, and get somewhere between 6 and 8 facials for the same or less than the average facial cost. So what's next? Now that you're doing this, if you get a kit, you're working with our products, we know these things work for a lot of people. We've worked with them on hundreds of our own clients. Your skin will start regulating its oil production within the first week. By weeks 2 and 3, you'll have less midday shine, better, longer wear of makeup, fewer breakouts, and within about a month, your skin should feel fully balanced, not stripped, not slick, just normal, balanced skin. And that is what skin management looks like. If you are looking to move into taking care of your skin in this way, we would love to have you try our products. The link for the kits is in the description box below. Like I said, drop a comment and let us know if you have any questions. Bye for now. So what happens next? Your skin will start to regulate oil production within the first week. By weeks 2 and 3, you'll notice less midday shine, longer makeup wear, fewer breakouts. Within 30 days, your skin should start to feel balanced, not stripped, not slick, just normal. And this is what oily skin management looks and feels like. If you want to try the Oily Facial Skin Blueprint, the links are in the description box below. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye for now.